Howdy y'all, Big Country here with Big Country Survival. Alright, so I got me a new toolbox, or a new tool set, anvil brand. I don't know anything about it, really. I mean, I know what's in this toolbox, but I'm going to show it to you guys. I drink my coffee. Got this in Japan. It's a big coffee cup, I know. That brand actually is Hawaiian coffee, but they had a little store somewhere in Japan selling that stuff, the coffee and like a little restaurant, gift shop, whatever. Anyway, so this is like a 75-piece tool set, I think. It was $10 at Home Depot on clearance. My brother picked it up for me. He works there at a Home Depot right now. So now, like, part of the pieces that they counted are these. They're just like little tacks and screws and drywall anchors and things like that. That's a good number of them. It's like a 100-piece tool set, I think. 75 to 100, I can't remember for certain. But, you know, the tacks and the screws, that's something handy to have. And like I said, this kit was $10, 10 to 11. I think he said with tax, the total came to, like 11 and some change. But, you know, so we're going to get into it, and this would be something if you find it at your local Home Depot. It's definitely worth the money, especially if you are new to self-reliance, preparedness, what have you, and you just need some basic hand tools to get you started. This is actually, I think it's called like a handyman kit, or a handyman's toolbox or something, but we're going to get into it. So you got a little screwdriver. It doesn't ratchet or anything fancy like that. It just standard screwdriver, except interchangeable bits, which seems to be where a lot of them are going to. You've got your Phillips, assorted Phillips heads and flat heads, and then your star bits and some of your other stuff. There. Even though, you know, your Phillips and your flatheads are going to be what you're going to use. More specifically, your number 2 Phillips right there. Yeah. That's going to be the most commonly used screwdriver or Phillips head bit that you're going to use. Just one of them things most hardware has made, you know, to fit a Phillips head, number 2. Like most hardware that's Phillips head, they make it to fit a number 2 Phillips head. You've got a little 12-foot tape measure, and let me show it to you. It's not terrible. Your bottom here has your little cheater marks of 1/8, 1/4 inch, 3/8, 1/2 inch, 5/8, etc. It's for people who don't know how to read a tape measure. And you know, you're also splitting hairs. It goes down to a 32nd. I don't get that crazy with it. But your other side of your blade here just goes to a 16th, I believe. No. Let me check. Yeah, your other side just goes to a 16th. And it doesn't have your cheater marks on it, which is good. That would be the side of the tape I would use most often. But it's a 12 foot. I mean, and you know, the little cheater marks are good if you don't know how to use a tape measure. If you don't know how to read it and you're trying to learn. I mean, it's a good little, you know, starter tape measure. You know, to find one with that in, it's good for starting out. More coffee. Alright, next on the inventory is a little 8-ounce finishing hammer. Yeah, I mean, it is good for what it is, driving tacks and things like that. It's really good. And I mean, you can drive actual nails in it. It just takes a little more oomph on your side. But you know, so it will do the job. It's a composite handle, which a lot of them are, especially your cheaper ones are composite handles, and I don't really care for that, but it is what it is, and it was a $10 tool set. I'm personally, comes to my hammers, and really most hand, you know, my hammers, I like either a wood handle or a metal handle with a rubber grip. You know, and that's, you know, it can be said for axes and hammers and, you know, most tools like that. I would rather have a wood handle or a metal handle with a rubber grip, and the reason behind it is wood handle, it gets wore out, it gets loose, I can peck it back in and get it to work for a while longer, and then with a wood handle I can change out the handle very easily, because that was what it was designed. It was designed to be able to replace the handle. You know, this, you've got to drill it out, and it's a pain in the neck to get the composite handle off when it breaks. And then, you know, the metal handle, man, if you break a metal handle on some of this stuff, like that, like East Wing tools, I mean, man, you really put it through the fire. But anyway, next on the list, little bullet level, which is awesome because I don't have one here. I've got one in my toolbox at work, because I have my own separate toolbox at work, because, you know, it's kind of comes with the territory. You work in a fab shop, you've got to provide a good bit of your own tools. But so I don't have a bullet level here until now. And the cool thing about this, one of the cool things, I've got this right here, this little strip that is magnetic. So when working with steel, just magnet it on. I've got other levels here, but this is the first bullet level that I actually have for here. And that's handy. It's handy to keep around. I've got some more screwdrivers, and these are your more fine, detailed screwdrivers. A couple little tiny flatheads and a couple little tiny Phillips heads. More like glasses kind of stuff. You know, just really for really tiny stuff. More like glasses screws, which, that's good. I wear glasses, right? So that's good. You got a little set of needle nose pliers with wire cutters. That's handy to have. Little set of dikes. Those are good to keep around. A lot of good uses, cutting wire, cutting zip ties, things like that, getting stuff out of your way. A lot of handy uses for that. Little Norwegian fit-all. A 6-inch adjustable wrench, crescent wrench, whatever you want to call it. Which for most of your in-home stuff, a little 6-inch crescent wrench is gonna do you just fine. Like there's a lot of stuff that you need something bigger for, but a lot of stuff that a 6-inch crescent wrench will work. I've got a little set of wrenches here too. 1/2 inch is the biggest, and a 5/16 is the smallest. They're all standard. I've also got a 3/8 and a 7/16, so that'll be handy. Just basic little open end, box end wrenches. And then a couple sets of Allen wrenches, and this is my standard set, and there's also metric. And the standard set goes down to a 1/16 and up to a 1/4. Metric, I'm not going to pull it out, goes to 1.5 to 6. And that is the tool set. And now this is handy to keep around. I'm going to keep this actually in the house. Because it's more household uses. This isn't really a work on your car kind of toolkit. And it's more just basic household tools. And so if you are in need of some basic household tools and you're on a budget like I am, this would be outstanding. For the money that I ended up paying for it, I feel like I got more than my money's worth. If you want to check out your local Home Depot and see if they've got this thing on clearance as well, or even if they don't have it on clearance, I would probably pay up to, like, top dollar, $25 for it. I don't know what this was originally, but I'd give it up to $25. Anything more than that, I would go with better tools. Like, I would go with different tools. But up to $25, I would probably pay for it. And like I said, this is just a little starter set. I thought it was neat to have. You can't have too many tools. You really can't. But I thought it was a neat little set. It would be really good for someone just starting out. Excuse me. And yeah, so it'd be good for that. If you want to see some more good tools that you ought to keep around, you can go check out. I've got, and this is probably going to go in that playlist, but I've got a playlist called like Self-Reliance, and I've got some basic items listed in it that would be, that I think should be in every household. Doesn't matter, like, whether you're a prepper or not, it should be in every household. Basic tools, and then I got one on basic materials. And I don't think I have any more in that. But I'll be adding this to that playlist. If you like this video, go ahead and give me that thumbs up, and leave a comment. If you didn't like it and you have a suggestion for how to make it better, what would be better, constructive criticism here, people. Don't just be a jackwagon. Just don't just be a jackwagon. But constructive criticism, is welcome. You know, I think that's about all I've got. Till next time, this Big Country Survival signing out. God bless.